All right, good afternoon, everybody. It is WDUN Sports Talk on WDUN TV. Hope you had a fantastic spring break, all you kiddies out there that are watching this. I'm Judd Hickenbotham. That is Morgan Lee. He is the sports editor for AccessNorthGA.com. He spent all of his spring break being sick. Were you sick all week? Or
No. It just kicked in once we got back from spring break, actually.
Oh, really?
I started feeling bad Sunday night, and then Monday, all of a sudden, I was like, yeah.
Oh, boy. But he's in today. We had a staff meeting and decided that it's good if we all take spring break off last week. So that's exactly what we did. That meeting took about 4 seconds. You want to do it in spring break? No.
It was a GoToMeeting.com meeting as well. It wasn't exactly in person.
And I even forgot the website, so I just didn't show up. All right, well, let's get to it because there's a lot of action to get to over the last couple of weeks. We'll start with high school baseball. Things are kind of getting down to it, and very rarely do you at the beginning of the season you say it looks like this is how it's going to end up, and then it's kind of works out that way where it's going to end up that way. Right now, the way you look at it today is we record this on Wednesday. White County has a half-game lead against North Hall and Gainesville. That's because they played one more game, and so White County off this Friday. North Hall and Gainesville have a chance to kind of pick up that last half game. So we are where we were 2-3 weeks ago.
Yeah, we got like you said, a kind of just a cluster at the top between White County, Gainesville, and North Hall. White County's got that half game lead just because they've got one more win. They're all sitting there with 3 losses. And all have beaten each other once. In fact, White County's beaten Gainesville twice. It's going to be a very interesting close to the season. Gainesville North Hall can catch White County on Friday because White County's off. So I fully expect to come into that North Hall White County game, and I excuse me for not having that date right in front of me, but I think when they play again. Sorry, I'm totally screwed up here. They've already played again.
Yeah.
I really.
It's tough to keep all three of them all together.
When you play 24 region games. Anyway, I think it's going to come down to the last week of the season, and frankly, it's going to come down to tiebreakers. Would be my guess.
Yeah, more than likely, that's probably what it's going to have to be. So Gainesville taking on Franklin County on Friday. North Hall is taking on Lumpkin County. That's a team that we've talked about before, and could end up being a dangerous game for the Trojans, wouldn't you say? Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, Lumpkin County is a team that's already already beaten Gainesville, already beaten White County this season. Very capable team in a battle to try to nab that 4th playoff spot from Region 8 AAA. I think Franklin County, Oconee County, Lumpkin County are all kind of in the mix there for that one. Johnson with an outside shot, but I think you just look at the quality through those top 3 teams really, and each one of them has at least 2 pitchers, if not 3. Every one of them's got at least 2 or 3 big bats. Every time you look at when they're playing somebody that's not one of each other, basically you're talking about multiple home run games, and they don't make a lot of mistakes. Really, I think all 3 of them, it really doesn't matter, I think, where they end up in the playoffs. I mean, they're going to be tough outs for whoever they play in the first round.
Yeah, most definitely. But, a couple good tests for Gainesville playing Franklin County, North Hall playing Lumpkin County. And, by the way, this is just a little off the beaten path, but Robbie Hefflinger used to be in Gainesville High School. He's either at High Myrtle Beach or he's at AA Mississippi, one or the other. He's still in the Braves organization. If you're wondering what happened to that guy, he's still trying to make it as a major leaguer, and he's kind of worked his way up. I think he's kind of fought through some injuries the last couple of years, but he seems to be healthy. And he seems to be doing well in the Braves organization. All right, let's move to high school soccer. Talk about big games. Got a pretty big one coming up this weekend, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Not just in the rankings and the standings. I mean, you're talking about one of the biggest rivalries in all of the state, really, in Gainesville and Johnson. I mean, 2 teams that have been, state title contenders every year pretty much. Gainesville obviously won Class AAA last year. Johnson has been to the semifinal round several times in its history. Right now, they're coming into Friday night's game at City Park here in Gainesville. Gainesville's ranked 4th, Johnson's ranked 5th. Basically, whoever wins that game will win the region, take the number 1 seed, and really earn a ton of bragging rights. And every time these 2 teams play, it's just a physical, hard-fought, crazy battle, and it's a lot of fun to watch because it's especially this season because it's going to be two very different styles of play.
That's what I was going to ask. I mean, how much alike are they? So they play different, huh?
Yeah, they do. Gainesville is much more of a possession team without trying to get too technical here.
Right.
Gainesville likes to pass the ball around, let the ball do a lot of the work. Johnson is a much more they can pass the ball around, but they prefer to be more direct. They prefer to use their speed. They'll try to play these diagonal passes to the corner, have somebody run onto them and clip them back into the penalty area. They've got some really talented strikers and a lot of speed on those wings. Some big guys in the back that are really hard to get past. It's going to be just a very interesting and unique battle. Both teams. I mean, Gainesville comes into this one undefeated in the region. Johnson's only got one loss, and that was in penalties.
Mm-hmm.
So I really think this is just going to be a treat for everybody.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you did a very good job, by the way, of describing. I haven't watched soccer match since I think U.S. played England or something around there.
It was a huge one on yesterday, but
was there?
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
That's neither here nor there. Huge to you.
Yes.
Congratulations to the East Hall Vikings. They do something they haven't done in 3 years. They've made the playoffs.
Yeah, they did. The first season back in Class AA, they're in Region 8 AA, and they beat Jefferson last night to finish no worse than second in that region. Or I say region, it's technically an area because AA and single A there's not enough teams in the state. They combine those two into one postseason tournament, so every area gets two representatives instead of like when you have regions and you have four.
Right.
So anyway, East Hall is going to be no worse than second coming out of that area. They got to play North Oconee on Friday night at North Oconee to try to win an area championship. A very solid team. I saw them play Johnson tough. They played Gainesville tough earlier in the year. I think lost both those games only 2-0, if I'm correct. I know they lost to Gainesville 2-0. I can't remember per se the Johnson score, but I think it was 2-0.
Mm-hmm.
Very solid team. They've got a kid, Nico Andrade, who's going to go play college soccer at Pfeiffer. Just a nice accomplishment for a program that has always had some talent, but has had trouble, really, frankly, just staying on the field. They've started and closed the program several times because I think they've had a hard time, finding people who want to lead the program because it's just not something, frankly, that they're used to over there.
Yeah, so success can kind of breed more players and that kind of thing. So it's definitely good for the East Hall program. We got to mention Gainesville High School girls basketball team. Manson Hill steps down, and it'll be Brenda Hill Gilmore. Did I get that right?
Yes,
possibly the first ever hyphenated coach in Gainesville history. I don't know if that's true or not, but he's going back through his memory banks here.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I think so.
All right,
I think so.
That's what you need to write your next article on. No, okay. So Brenda Hill Gilmore becomes the new basketball coach for folks that don't know about her. I mean, she's inheriting a program that's I don't know if it's legendary status, but over the last 10, 15 years, I mean, a well-respected program.
Oh yeah, one of the top 10 programs in AAA, I would say, over the past decade and a half or so, without a doubt. 3 state titles in the past decade, and then you go back to Manson's first stint at Gainesville, and they won the state title a long time ago, my freshman year, back in 1993.
That was forever.
Yeah, tell me about it. And
wait, I'm older than you. What am I talking about? Okay.
Anyway, so she's Brenda Hill was I still think of her as Brenda Hill. Brenda Hill Gilmore.
Yeah.
Was an assistant with Manson for 6 years. Her daughter Tasha. I think everybody will remember Tasha Humphrey. She was a big part of those 3 state.
I think
titles.
A few people remember her.
Yeah, big part of those 3 state titles in 2001, 03, and 04. She has coached at the collegiate level at the University of Georgia. A lot of people will remember her from a long time ago. When she played at East Hall. I think she graduated from East Hall in '82 and won a state title there, I do believe, with the girls team, and was coached by Seth Vining back then. She's played professionally in Europe. So that's one of the big draws for Gainesville. Talked to Wayne Vicker, the AD, and he was saying she knows how to be successful at every level. She's been she's been all over the place, and certainly she understands what's going on at Gainesville, understands the tradition, having been there as a coach, and I think she was really excited yesterday. She's gonna last year was the first year Gainesville hadn't made the state playoffs since 1997, and were extremely close. They played Franklin County, who won that region,
right?
To within what was it, 3 overtimes?
That was a very
crazy game. So they've certainly got some talent coming back because most of that team is coming back. So, pretty excited and hope to, get them back in the playoffs next year.
Manson Hill's a huge baseball fan, by the way. So he's going to have a little Bobby Cox kind of thing, I think, for this offseason. People are going to be talking to him, and I don't know. I'm sure they'll do something on the court for him to start next season, right?
He's got some great stories about that. He grew up in Miami when they had a AAA franchise and got to meet a lot of the players and meet a lot of the players when they came down for spring training.
Yeah. So I just remember for like a second-round playoff matchup, I went down there to get his starters. I didn't want to bother him too much. I'm sure he was in the zone. And he talked to me for about 20 minutes about the 1970s Baltimore Orioles pitching staff. And, he was just talking my ear off about it. So
also played tennis at Georgia.
Yeah. Did he really?
Yes.
Man, oh, man. There you go. So Manson Hill all over the place. So good luck to Brenda Hill-Gilmore. Like we said, she inherits a program that they expect to win, and I'm sure, with her pedigree, I think she's going to be able to do it.
Yeah, she's got some big shoes to fill, but I think she's excited about the challenge.
All right, coming up, we're going to talk some college football. There's a big game over in Athens coming up this weekend, and Morgan's got a little insight about that. Coming up next, WDUN Sports Talk on WDUN TV.
At Riverside Pharmacy, if you have questions, they have answers. If you don't have time, they won't make you wait. If you need special items, Riverside Pharmacy can order them. They want to be your pharmacy, and that's what sets them apart. Service. And just inside Riverside is the Gift Nook, where you'll find more great service in a new line of beautiful wall plaques and great colorful bags. Shop the Gift Nook in Riverside Pharmacy in the old Sherwin-Williams building on Green Street.
At the offices of Dr. Norman Peets, DDS on Green Street in Gainesville, patients have all their general dentistry needs explained. Ask about sedation dentistry. Dr. Peets' team of professionals puts you at ease. Dedicated, experienced professional. He's Gainesville's family dentist. Dr. Norman Peets, 615 Green Street in Gainesville. North Georgia's News Talk, AM 550 and FM 102.9, WDUN. Now 2 stations strong, AM 550, FM 102.9, WDUN.